Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Tip. Max with you for the weekend ads video for week 6 of the fantasy season. Today we'll go over the best available options under 70% rostered as usual for the upcoming weekend. For the schedule, there's 5 games Friday, 12 games Saturday, and 4 games on Sunday. For Friday and Saturday, 3 teams in action: the Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh have by far the best matchups out of the 3 teams, traveling to Columbus and hosting the Sharks Saturday. This is definitely a get-right weekend for the Pens, and Rickard Rakell will be on the front line, playing alongside Sidney Crosby on the first line and first power play. Sean Monahan has been great for weekend pickups. He's got 6 points in 7 games on weekends, and 5 points in 5 games when playing on Saturday. Top line, top power play. Brian Rust, freshly back from injury, currently playing on the second line with Malkin, and he has a spot on the PP1 with juicy matchups coming. He's a very good option this weekend. Kirill Marchenko, 9 points in the last 9 games for the Russian. He's going towards career highs. Patrick Kane, pointless in 4 of his last 5 games. He's off to a slow start. However, his shot volume has gone up in the last few games, and Showtime should be back on the score sheet more often. Yegor Shinnikov, 2 points, 18 shots, 8 hits in the last 4 games. PP1 option. More Blue Jackets players here. Adam Fantilli, first line winger, PP2 center. We have Cole Sillinger, second line center, PP1 option. This guy plays big minutes, great peripherals, but he's scoreless in the last 5 games. Triple eligible position, GT Comfer, who plays second line center between Andrew Kopp and Patrick Kane. He's also a PP2 option. Vladimir Tarasenko has been really slow, and he hasn't recorded a point in 7 straight outings. He went through 5 games without recording a single shot a few weeks ago. He's down to the third line, still have PP2 time, but this guy can go off at any time. Dmitry Voronkov, line 2, PP2 option in Columbus. And as underwhelming as Michael Bunting has been, he's in a good spot on line 2 with Malkin and Rust. He's also a PP2 option. Jesse Puljujarvi, third line, PP2 option with decent peripherals. And finally, deep leagues, Marco Kasper. 1 assist in 10 games, PP2 option. For Friday and Sunday, the most important segment of the video, we have 3 teams: the Nashville Predators, Vegas Golden Knights, and Washington Capitals. Connor McMichael, I streamed him in week 2 and I haven't looked back since. In 16 games, he has half the points he recorded last year in 80 games. He ranks tied for 6th in the league with 10 goals alongside Draisaitl, Ovechkin, Nico Hischier, and Panarin. Ride the wave while you still can. Thomas Hertl, shallow league option for the Golden Knights, of course, PP1 center. Tom Wilson, 43 hits, above 2 shots per game, PP1 alongside Ovechkin, great option. I know the Predators have been really bad, but how is O'Reilly only 52% rostered? Line 1, PP1, playing with Philip Forsberg and Steven Stamkos with 19 minutes 49 seconds of time on ice per game. Everyone who dropped him in 12-man leagues will bite the inside of their mouths at the end of the year, mark my word. They need to start producing soon. Buy low right now. Ivan Barbashev, 5 points in the last 3 games for the Golden Knights, first-line winger. William Karlsson, third-line center in Vegas, PP2 option, 6 points in his first 7 games. Pavel Dorofeyev, 8 goals in his last 13 games and on the PP1, while Mark Stone is out. Pierre-Luc Dubois, finally in the lower percentage players. Dubois leads the way, second-line center between Tom Wilson and Connor McMichael. He's also a PP2 option. Gus Nyquist, high risk, high reward. Either he does points or he doesn't. Last year he had 75 points, so the ability is there. Nick Roy, his value will all depend on if Mark Stone is back or not. He's got 9 points in the past 10 games. Avoid him if you see that he's starting on the 4th line. Right now, he's the line 1 right winger. This guy is very versatile. Protis, no power play for him. He hasn't stopped him from being productive. 9 points in the last 10 games. First line minutes with Dylan Strome and Alex Ovechkin. Why is Scarbosa and Mangiapane on PP2 ahead of him? I guess we'll never know. Yusuf Parsinen has a 4-game point streak where he culminated 14 hits. He was playing with Stamkos and Marchessault for half those games, but he's remained productive centering the third line so far. Alexander Holtz, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points in the last 9 games for the third line winger. Also a PP2 option. Top 5 best 1% option out here. Deeper leagues, take notes. Andrew Mangiapane, never liked him much. He's not my boy, but hey, he's got 3 points in the last 2 games, and he does play on the PP2. Honorable mention to Colton Sissons and Luke Evangelista. First Saturday and Sunday, we've got 4 teams in action. The Carolina Hurricanes, Seattle Kraken, St. Louis Blues, and Vancouver Canucks. At number 1, Jack Roslovic. Carolina and Vancouver have the best matchups of this segment. Roslovic is top line with Aho and Svechnikov. Pavel Buchnevich at 2. St. Louis has tough matchups in Carolina and in Boston. But if someone apart from Jordan Kyrou is going to do well, it has to be Buchnevich, top line center, top power play. Then we've got a couple of Canucks. Not a big fan of Connor Garland, and the problem with these 2 guys here is their heavy lack of peripherals. If I had to go with my heart, I'd gamble on the rookie. Fortunately for you guys, it's all brains and no love in here. Garland has 8 points in the last 9 games. Pia Suter is top line, top power play, and he's also one of the best under 1% owned player at the moment. Speaking of the rookie, he's about to play his first game tonight at the time of making this video. Jonathan Lekkerimäki, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 7 AHL games with a league-leading 39 shots. He'll start his career on the top line with JT Miller and some PP2 action. Can't wait to see what he's going to give us. Jake Neighbors, top line, top power play in St. Louis. He should see statistical correlation soon and get his numbers up. I think he's going to be more productive as the season go by. Eeli Tolvanen. Now, there's a few Kraken players here, but Max, why do you recommend a third-line winger ahead of other guys? Because he's the safer choice. Good hits. Kid blocks almost a shot per game since last year, and he is on the PP1 right now. I love Tolvanen as a streamer, and I recommend him heavily. Jordan Eberle, first line, first power play. Matty Beniers, first line, second power play. It's worth noting Seattle plays Shesterkin and Sorokin back-to-back this weekend. I don't like that spot, very much, even if they play at home. Jake DeBrusk, 4-game point streak following his 4-game scoreless streak. Boomer bust option. Good matchups on the line with Elias Pettersson. You can buy on that. Chandler Stevenson, line 2, PP1 center. High risk, medium reward. Braden Shen, rough times for Braden Shen. He's one of my favorite fantasy assets over the years. PP1 option right now. You can buy low, as I don't think he'll remain under 15% rostered all year. I don't think he'll remain this bad all year. Oliver Bjorkstrand, he's responded well from being a healthy scratch with a goal. Boomer bust option. KK in Carolina, line 2, PP2 option. Kiefer Sherwood, hit machine. Fantastic for Cats leagues. Dakota Joshua should be back this week. How good will that bottom 6 be when Joshua is back fully healthy? I can't wait to see that for Vancouver. I think he might take over that PP2 spot in a matter of games. This guy's a great hitter. He's a gamer. What happened to Andrei Burakovsky? High risk, high reward. Jack Drury, best fourth line center in the NHL, PP2 option. A couple of Blues player, Mathieu Joseph, who's back this week and scheduled to play alongside Braden Shen and Dylan Holloway. No power play for Mathieu Joseph, PP2 for Dylan Holloway. Eric Robinson, 5 points in the last 5 games, 9 in the last 12 games. Really going under the radar with limited time on ice. And finally, Teddy Bluger to close the segment for very deep leagues, third line center in Vancouver. Now on to defensemen. The D is a bit in the lower tier this weekend, but if Jacob Chychrun is available, you got yourself a keeper and a streamer for shallow leagues. Justin Falk's been so bad. St. Louis has been bad. 7-game pointless streak, but still PP1. He has to come out of his hole soon. Buy low. Colton Parayko, no power play for him, but he's been the best player on St. Louis. He's tied for second on the Blues with 9 points in 15 games, and he ranks 12th in the NHL for blocked shots. Brent Burns at number 4. It's worth noting that Ghost has been pointless in the last 5 games. Keep an eye out to see if Brent Burns takes his PP1 spot back. Riker Evans, Montour is back, so his value takes a big hit. He's still PP2, boom or bust option. Damon Severson plays a lot of big minutes in Columbus. PP2 defenseman up to 7 points, 30 shots, and 23 blocks on the year. Brady Shea, over-rostered in my opinion. I never understood why. As a hockey player, you do want him on your team. Sure, A1. As a fantasy asset, he should be nowhere near 60% owned. Pointless in the last 7, high risk, high reward. Rasmus Sandin, 3-game point streak, 8 points on the season, but they've all come in the last 10 games. No power play time for Sandin, but he's still very productive. Another Washington Capitals defenseman without power play time is Matt Roy. Great peripheral. And the Caps are scoring goals for fun, so he can get those residual assists to add to those peripherals. And finally, Eric Gustafsson, PP2 defenseman in Detroit. Honorable mention to Simon Edvinsson, who's first pairing with Mo Seider. Matt Grilchik, PP2 defenseman in Pittsburgh. Scott Perunovich, PP2 in St. Louis, who finally got his first NHL goal after 79 games spread across 3 seasons. Congratulations. And Ivan Provorov, PP2 with Severson in Columbus, but he only has 4 points on the season. For the goalies now. Here are a few possible options from the 4 games. Nashville has a back-to-back Thursday and Friday. Therefore, we know Jussi Saros will for sure be in on Saturday. I think Jonathan Quick, if he plays, should be the number 1 to target. The Rangers should get the W here even if they're not at home. Freddie Anderson is out. Carolina has a back-to-back. Spencer Martin could get the juicy St. Louis matchup. Washington and Vegas, it's so tight. I think this comes down to if Mark Stone plays or not on Sunday. Pick your poison. These are 2 excellent offenses. Canucks on the second half of the back-to-back could be a trap game at home against Nashville. Look out for Silovs if he's available. I wouldn't trust many goalies against the Rangers, even at home. But if you're looking for option, Philip Grubauer is only 7% rostered. And finally, I like Ofer, but Carolina ranks 6th in the league for goals for, and they have games in hand on every team ahead of them. Horrible matchup. Here is the Hail Mary play of the week. Now let's take a look at the category section. For the shots, we have Connor McMichael, 3.1, Sean Monahan, Shinnikov, 2.9, Dorofeyev, Brian Rust, 2.9, Will Carlson, Jack Roslovich, 2.7, Raquel, 2.6, Bjorkstrand, 2.5. For the blocks, we spoke about him earlier. Colton Parayko, what a beast, 2.4. Sandin Ferravari, 2.4. Van Riemsdyk, 2.3. The Caps are really good in all departments. Edvinsson and Oleksiak Larson, couple of cracking at 2.2. For the hits, we have Kiefer Sherwood, who's in a league of his own at 6.2 hits a game. Jérémy Lauzon, 4.8. Nate Walker, 3.7. Luke Shen, Mathieu Oliver, Tom Wilson, Zachary Lheureux, all above 3 hits a game. Noel Acciari, 2.6. And Cole Smith, 2.6. We also, for face-off, we have Chandler Stevenson at 11.1. O'Reilly, 10.3. Sean Monahan, 10.1. Jordan Stahl, 9.9. Then it dips down a little bit. Nick Dowd, 8.2. Colton Sissons and Matty Beniers at 7.4. We have Braden Shen, 7.3. And Teddy Bluger at 6.7. And that's it for today, guys. Hope these suggestions help you out. If you like the content, click the like button, subscribe to our channel. It's the best thing you can do for us. And by the way, Fantasy Tip is 5 wins, 0 losses in the Content Creators League. Currently fighting to be the only undefeated team remaining after this week. We're playing another 5-0 team. So I wish you guys luck. Go get that W. I'll see you next week. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Enjoy, guys.